case of interwebkaiju here. This is Rampage. This is Rampage. This is Rampage. This is Midway Arcade Treasures 2, which has Rampage. At least the first one, maybe World Tour as well. And this is Rampage.
In a space station, an experiment to mutate animal genes goes awry and the station is destroyed. 3 containers featuring the mutation pathogen fall to Earth and mutate 3 creatures into gigantic monsters. Let's get straight to the monsters. The movie features George, Lizzie, and Ralph, just like its source material, a Midway arcade game if you weren't aware. I don't think Lizzie is name dropped in the movie, but Ralph is once, and George is throughout the film. George is changed into an albino gorilla, which is fine. He's given emotions, a slight personality, and the ability to sign. I like all these changes on him, and his signing is great, both humorous and non-humorous. Yes, if you haven't heard, Ape isn't the only giant film monster to flip the bird in cinema history anymore, but there's some other humorous gesticulations he does as well. Ralph and Lizzie are both less anthropomorphic and are on all fours instead of bipedal, and it works wonderfully for them. I kind of wish they gave Ralph a little bit of a blue tint. I feel like this would have fit well in the movie. What he is given are new abilities, namely projectiles and the ability to fly, or glide, flying squirrel style. Lizzie is just a giant alligator and she looks great in every scene she's in. The other monsters look a bit odd at certain times, most notably when interacting with or moving around humans. Side note, the CG humans look odd most of the time, but Lizzie looks great in every shot. And her reveal scene is straight out of a kaiju movie. She surfaces, shakes the water off, and roars. Beautiful. I'm not saying the CG in general is bad, it's good, just not fantastic. There's really only 5 or so characters once the film drops the people from where George was living, and the ones that you're left with, you really get to know in the short time you're exposed to them. So either the director, the writers, or both know what they're doing. The acting is good, the music is fine, it does a good job making certain scenes intense. I didn't think it would have much to do with the game other than the monsters, but well, first off, there's a Rampage arcade cabinet. The movie doesn't dwell on it, so it's not in your face, but it's sort of out of focus in the background in a lot of shots. The film has a device that makes it so the monsters climb the buildings, and this is where it really seems like the game. Also, when the monsters are wreaking havoc on the city, it's awesome. This is neither a pro or a con, but the movie was a lot gorier than I expected. A lot of the most intense and memorable scenes are due to the goriness, and the film does it pretty well. They aren't quick shots, so your brain actually gets to process what you're seeing, but it also doesn't linger too long, so for those that might be squeamish over these things, you're fine. The camera work is a bit shaky. It's not random shaky though. It seems to track the character who is the focus of the scene's face, which most of the time is fine, but The Rock does a lot of quick head movements, which causes some pretty bad shots. The end fight reminded me a lot like Godzilla 2014 because it's not great, but it does have some really cool parts in it. It's like a bunch of alright stuff, and then a really cool thing happens, and then a bunch of alright stuff, and then a really cool thing happens. The military retaliation scenes are pretty lackluster. The Rock fighting by himself, or the group of specialists versus Ralph, were much more interesting than anything involving the military or their vehicles. The 2 human antagonists are kind of not good. They're not terrible, but still. The girl is sort of like a forgettable Bond villain, and her brother is just kind of goofy and doesn't actually fit well into the tone of the film for me. Neither seemed evil, threatening, or unlikable for the most part, outside of what type of research they were conducting. The monsters, however, do a great job seeming threatening, villainous. So that was Rampage. You know, it's not the best film ever made, but I liked it. It's enjoyable. It's a fast pace, you know. By the time they get in the city, it's a great time. I didn't mention it in the review, but the lighting is really good throughout the movie. It's like a natural lighting, but I really like it. If you have any movies, TV shows you'd like me to review, leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.